Okay.
All right. So we are here with Nicole Renzi. I call you Nicole Renzi, but it is what it is. President of Diamond.
That's what
And
my does.
okay, so you had your sideline was under Genevieve, and you had like a super crazy story after you started, and then like, watching you grow so quickly and being like, what is her secret? What is she doing? And Jen was like, she's just like on fire. So you went diamond in 30 days, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell, because I feel like, okay, the biggest thing that I'm seeing with my team is that people are getting charted for a rank such as diamond, and then they're just like not getting the volume and not really like getting that rank, and then they lose steam seeing that chart being filled, whatever. So how did you capitalize on this business from the day you started and get diamond so quickly, and then keep promoting and kind of like take us through your timeline and what you did and how you helped your team get their promotions too.
Okay. Um, so I think the beginning of my story, it's important to know that like I literally, like most of us, have never done anything like this in my life. But more important, like I literally had no friends, and um, um, and I had zero time. Like I was teaching and I was working three jobs at the time. I wasn't like desperate for money, but I definitely worked a lot because I enjoyed doing, things with my family. So we obviously had to work more to do those things. So that was just my life. Like I was used to hustling like that, but I literally had zero time. So when I first started, I had the impression like, I don't know what I'm going to make of this. Like, who knows? But once I like actually signed up and saw what Jen was doing, what like other people were doing, it got me so inspired to like, wait a second, like these people are normal people. Maybe I could do this. So the first thing I did was I used the products. I think that was the best thing I could have ever done for my business in the very beginning, was I was truly a product of the products. And my husband in the beginning was such a jerk. Like he did not believe in the business. He thought it was a scam. He literally, within my first month, I went diamond. Before I hit diamond, I literally almost quit because he was like so negative and so like just it was just really just not good. Well, look, with him, the people I worked with, like I was abused in the beginning. People literally like made fun of it. They were just abusing me at my school, wherever anybody that I tried to tell, like close family or friends, basically like laughed at me. However, and John, my husband, was a jerk. So when I used the products though, that was, nobody could deny my results, so that was something that once that happened too, so like I let other people get to me when they were saying things because I wasn't so confident. But once I used the products myself and I had my own personal results, I shut them up because now I was confident myself. I know what these products did, and I was able to show people what they just did. So that helped a lot. And then I made John do it. And those of you guys don't know my husband, but he always had like a big belly. And when he did this, like he literally transformed his whole body. And it was like within a month. All he did was wrap and maybe thermofit and fat fighters here and there. And he literally transformed his body. And that was just so huge for my business because then people started to really believe me. Like it was just, I don't know, that really, really helped. And it made me so confident because now I knew what I had my hands on. I knew this stuff works. Now it was just up to me to follow what everyone else was doing and get it out there, So I remember being on like a challenge page in the beginning. I was so scared to reach out to people. Like I didn't go into this, like I was never a poster on Facebook. So for me, this was like all challenges that I had to just like, I had to like get over myself because I was watching Genevieve or Michelle or Lori or whatever, and I saw what they were doing and they were posting and they were using products or whatever they were doing. So I knew I had to get over my fears of posting or talking to people or whatever that was if I wanted to be successful. So I was on a challenge group, and one of the days was like, reach out to 5 people on your chicken list that that you would love to have on your team. And at this point, I don't think I had anybody on my team except I made John a distributor, my husband, and my sister, and I just like basically forced them into doing it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get to Ruby. So that was my goal, Ruby. And I remember being so scared. And then I'm like, you know what, whatever. What do I have to lose? Let me just do it. So I sent the message and I started just like copy and pasting the same message. And it was basically like, it was a message where like I wasn't making any money at this point. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just excited. Like my message showed excitement. And I was like, listen, I just got involved in this company. The girl that enrolled me is making like $20,000 a month. Speaking of like Jen, you know, she's a normal person just like me and you. I don't know what this is going to be, but I have a feeling I'm going to make a ton of money with this. You know, do you want to do this together? Basically, that was my message. Something to that, you know, effect. And then once I sent it to a couple people, I'm like, you know what, I just kept going. Like, I was like, that wasn't that hard. Once I actually did it, I was like, all right, that wasn't that bad. And then I just went crazy and messaged every single person in my cell phone. Even if I haven't spoke to them in a while, like anybody that was in my cell phone, I messaged. And then I'm going to say it was like 30 people. Like right away, I got a couple of responses. Hey girl, no thanks. That's not, you know, not my thing, whatever. Some people didn't even respond. And then out of those like 30 messages, like 3 people like, absolutely. What do you know, what is it? And then that was it. And that's how I started to build my team, just by asking people. And I was like, that was so easy. Yes, I had a lot of no's and people that didn't answer me, but I also got 3 yeses that I wouldn't have had if I didn't do that, you know?
Right.
So then I just started doing that. I was like, this was easy. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep asking people. And at that point, I wasn't afraid to ask anymore because I saw how easy it was to just do it. And believe it or not, the people that said no to me or ignored me wound up joining my team, whether it was the following month or even up until now. They're still like, I swear every single person that told me no has pretty much joined my team at this point.
Yeah, no, I think that's like one of the biggest things, like you were saying, is just like people get in their heads and we think it's like this more complicated thing of, oh my gosh, like at Diamond, you'll know how to do whatever. And it's like, no, what we're saying is just have a simple message, be excited. And like, once you get to a certain rank, you should still be excited. Like you should never alter what you're saying. And like, I think that's another thing you hit on too, is when people, what I notice is a lot of times we're like, I don't have a story yet. I haven't made money yet. Da, da, da. And it's like, that's okay. That's why you joined a team. That's why you have a leader to be like, oh, you know what? Like I just signed under Christy. I just signed under Nicole. I signed under whomever it is or whatever. I joined this girl's team. She's making this much money. I'm like so new at this, but I have the vision. I know I'm going to make a ton. Like, do you want to join me? And
exactly.
Just don't complicate it.
I feel like in our business, especially, like I remember before I started this company, there were people that approached me about other MLMs, and I had no idea what an MLM even was before. But now that I'm in the business, I remember being asked to do this, to do that. And there was like a huge startup. But besides that, I remember when they were telling me about it, it was like, oh, this person, there's a girl in the company that makes this much money. Like, and they didn't know that person. Think about it. Like, I feel like on our team, like our downline from Kim under, right? There are so many people that we personally know that literally have changed their life in this business. Like that's huge. That's like something that you could brag about, because most companies, you don't physically know the person that's making so much money. You know, it's like, okay, you hear of them. It's like we hear of Stephanie and Joel Dunn, but that's a whole nother level of making, you know?
No, it's true. And that's what's interesting is, especially within our specific lineage, you know, the amount of people that we have access to, you know, who are training us and pouring into us, who are in the top 100 leaders, who are winning these freedom awards, are winning all these things. Like they're people who are directly giving us word for word what our files are, what our videos are, things like that. So yeah, no, it's true. It's like, just basically use the resources we have and then go above and beyond. So you, obviously we know your husband was like, meh, not so supportive, and then slowly started like, you know, using the products and stuff. But within those first 30 days, so you were like, okay, I see Jen, I want to do this, I want to make money. People were like, you know, basically, like you said, abusing you in terms of not supporting and having, you know, negative responses. How did you get past that to have like the vision, and like, when did you decide I'm going Diamond this month? And then how did you get, you know, the people under you to get to Ruby and get to Emerald?
So I'm not gonna lie, like it did get to me. Like there was a point where I really was really upset. And
Mm-hmm.
then I remember being in my school building and like one of my para friends coming over to me and talking to me and just saying like don't listen to these negative, like she literally just had to sit me down because I was just having a moment where like I really was letting all of the negativity just shoot me down, because the truth is I didn't come into this believing in myself and thinking I'm going to be this amazing rock star distributor. You know, I never even knew how to believe in myself before this, but I was a very competitive person. That's always been my personality. And when she sat me down and she told me like, you know, you can't let the negativity get to you, you know, give them something to really be, you know, to really hate on you. They're just haters. Like you want to get back at them, like give them something more to hate you for. And like something in my brain just like clicked. And I'm like, you know what? Like that was what kind of drove me. I know it's kind of silly to say, but I just wanted to shut everybody up and prove them wrong. Like that really in the very beginning, because I didn't have this huge why of why I was doing this. Like I didn't think my life was that bad when I first started. Now that I look back, I'm like, I never want to go back to that ever, you know? But I really, the truth is I didn't think I was living such a bad life. I was content because it was all we knew. So
Right.
my why wasn't like so strong that I had coming into it, but I did want to shut these people up that were so mean and so nasty and so like, you can't do this. Or you'll literally like, people never make money with that. That's such a scam. You'll never, you know, it'll be over in a couple of months, like just negative jerks. And that is what really drove me. And then, like I said, the products gave me so much confidence. Like at that point, after I wanted to obviously shut them up and prove them wrong, I had something to back that up. You know, it wasn't like I was scamming people with these products that really don't work and I just were scamming people. Like I had stuff that was really helping people and really was changing people's bodies and the way they felt. So
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, that was just enough for me to push through. And then I think my excitement really helped out my team because, and I think that's so important. Like you also attract, like you attract however you are, like, or whoever you're thinking or whoever your thoughts, that's what you attract. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point, like I was like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to anybody else. I'm just going to keep going. Like I'm going to, you know, get to diamond or ruby, whatever the rank I was going for, which at first it was ruby. And then I wound up like hitting ruby in the middle of the month. So I knew I was going diamond at this point, and I was just, my excitement was just, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I didn't know I was going diamond, but Genevieve kept saying, you can go diamond. Like, do you understand? Like, you're almost diamond.
Yeah.
And like, it was kind of like her belief in me that gave me the more confidence, I guess, to say like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think my excitement, and my, just to the fact that I wasn't letting anything hold me back as far as like, okay, reaching out to people or doing the things that the people above me were telling me, this is what you need to do to be successful right now. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
this, do that. Like, I just listened to what they said, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you didn't have any excuses and you're like, oh, okay. Like you
Right.
trusted your leadership is basically
Exactly.
what you're
I
saying.
didn't let all the things that I could have easily let me say like, oh, I can't because of this or I can't because of that, which I get how easy it is for people to do that. But I think at that point I was past that. And I just was like, you know what? Nothing's going to stop me at this point.
Right. Yeah. I remember I kind of remember because I obviously didn't know who you were at the time. And I remember like talking with Jen and being like, who is this? Like, what is she doing? How is this happening? It's like this little like tornado up in New York, just like spinning out of control with it works. And Jen was like, she literally goes up to people and is like, you don't understand. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, you're joining my team. Like, da da da. And like, you were like, I'm not taking no for an answer. Like, good. So it's so funny to hear this because I didn't know this perspective of you being like, people were mean. I almost quit. Well, because I thought like you were like running out of the gate, just like, I'm making $1 million. Who wants to come with me? Because that's like kind of what you shifted into.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, no, that's true.
it's
But
so funny. So did you, like you said before, you weren't like super heavily relying on social media, like hiding behind a computer and like waiting for people to come to you. You were doing parties, right?
yeah, I didn't personally do my own party. But and also I was teaching, so I was on like I was not allowed to post during the day. Like they literally, like the people I worked with literally tried to get me fired in the
So
beginning.
you went diamond in 30 days with a full-time career during the day.
Yeah, I was working 3 jobs
Oh,
at the
okay.
time.
So there's
Yeah.
that for the people who have.
So there's that.
Lindsay's like, what? Yeah, I'm.
Literally, I remember, but I was so excited. Like, I remember having zero time, but coming home at night, my kids were in bed, and I'd be laying in bed and like
Yeah,
messaging the girls or answering whoever just, wrote to me or whatever it was. And
yeah.
I would just be up late only because like I literally couldn't sleep. That's how excited I was,
That's
you know?
exactly how I was in the beginning once, because I thought I was actually very similar. Like, this is nothing. I'm not going to be good at this. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm going to be annoying, whatever. And then Lori had to be like, did my post annoy you? Like,
Right.
does my success annoy you? I'm like, no, it's really inspiring. And she's like, why don't you just channel that to try to be inspiring for someone else? And then once I had those first couple of conversations, those first yeses, I was like, I want a million yeses, and like became this crazy person who worked full time during the day, and then would like, I'm a very regimented. I would like come home and then like walk my dog, have my meal, whatever, and then at night would message people, get my packages together, like order products, send them, whatever. And I was like literally so excited because I'm like, I'm gonna offer this to like all of my friends, all my family, da da da. Like, I'm going diamond in 3 months, and like had this big thing. So when I was like, I thought I was so cool that I went diamond in 3 months, and you're like, I went diamond in 1 month, and I was like, who is this like superwoman? But so that's like, so it's just, I don't, if I were you, I would have such a hard time with like the teammates who are like just really busy or whatever. Like, it's sort of a, you could do every no excuse call ever. But so how did you, like, when you started getting, these yeses, and you had that like unstoppable sort of like mindset, like, so basically like what it's been here is like, you're saying like your mindset determines it. Like, when you let other people, you drown them out, you block them out, you stay,
Which is not easy. I'm not saying that was easy. It wasn't easy,
yeah.
but you have to make that decision, you know?
Yeah. So that's like the first hurdle, is like, once you get your mind right, then like your actions will follow, and then you'll attract the right people. And then all of your enthusiasm, you're pouring into them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can go diamond. You can go ruby. You can go. So
Like
every single person.
Jen, literally to this day, she makes fun of me because I think I told my team, like the people that I was signing on at the time, like I was telling them all the wrong information. Like I didn't even know what I was saying, and they were believing me. Like people were, listen to this, people were becoming a distributor, and I remember telling them, because I swear I thought this. I don't know if it's because it automatically did 2 wraps in your auto ship. I thought they had to order 2 extra boxes of wraps when they joined. So like instead of paying $99 to join, they were spending like 300, 250, whatever it was, every single person that enrolled. So
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, and I'm telling you, like that was pure. What do they call it? What is it?
ignorant on fire.
Yeah, like literally had no idea what I was saying, but I was so excited. They were just doing whatever I said.
You're
Like,
like, yeah, we're all gonna make $1 million. Just order 4 boxes of wraps, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's actually a genius way of getting.
I mean, that's the, I don't have the power anymore for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't work anymore, but maybe, I don't know, man, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should try to do that again. I think I kind of stopped because Jen was like, wait, that's like, no, that's not true. Like, they don't have to do that. I mean, that's great, but
Yeah, no, that is, I do actually kind of remember Genevieve was like, yeah, she's telling all these people like to like sign up, and then everyone's going diamond and they have to order this and that. I'm like, that's smart. Like, it makes sense. But yeah, I think that's the other thing too. I mean, just hitting on that, like a lot of times people think like, I can't message people. I don't have all the answers yet. And you're like, basically saying, I had all of the wrong information and still was going out and talking to people just because you were excited. So obviously, like, try to get your facts straight as much as you can, but like, don't wait to like read every file and every document. Like,
and it's okay to be a real person. And if you don't, like, I remember people, like, because, there's always those people that have, like, a lot of questions and, just the annoying ones. And that's okay to be like, listen, I don't even know that. Like, I just started, or I'm not sure. Let me check. Like, be a real, I just feel like people respect you so much more if you don't try to BS them and you just be real. you know, and that was always how I trained my team. Still to this day, like, just be a real person. People really, like, they feed off that, and they respect that. And then I feel like that just goes such a long way.
Yeah, no, that's true. And like I would always like tell people, like if they ask, because I'm so not a green personality, like I don't read files, I don't read ingredients, like I hardly know how anything works. I'm like, oh, like I'm the opposite. Like if someone's like, you know, take 2 of these and you lose weight, I never would ask how. I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
Like, I literally don't care how it works, as long as it does, like I'll use it, like whatever. So I would just tell people, I'm like, you know what, that's a really good question. I've never even thought about that. Let me find out, you know, and like I would learn so much as I talked to potential distributors and potential customers, because they started asking questions my blue brain never thought about. And then I would write them down, find the answer, and then I would like become a better, more equipped leader in the future. Little did I know, like presidential / going for ambassador would even be possible, because it seems so far-fetched. But it's like, oh my gosh, if I hadn't just opened my mouth and like, you know, just let the whole process kind of teach you and train you. Like Kim always says, like she didn't, you know, sign up to become a leader of, you know, a multi-billion dollar like $1 million company or anything like that. She's like, I signed up just to like sell skinny wraps, and you know, all of a sudden we find ourselves in leadership positions. So that's why we have, you know, our teams and the trainings and whatever, because it's like, hey, we're all in this together, we're all in the process. But you have to just start by trusting your leadership, communicating with people, having that mindset, and you know, just opening your mouth and not letting people who are the like negative Nancy's bring you down and stuff. So when, I guess I'm trying to think of what else. If I were new and I like had 20 minutes to talk with someone who went diamond in 1 month, like what would I want to know? Oh man. So how, I guess, what, I mean, do you have any other thing, like, is there anything that really stands out, like, in that process? Like, how long did it take for you to register after you went diamond? Because then what did you do after you went double the next month, right? Yeah, it was like every single month for 4 months. It was like diamond, double, triple, quadruple, whatever. I'm like, how the heck is she a presidential diamond in like 4 months? But that was like your journey. So how you just did the same thing, right? You didn't go diamond and then like, oh, let me change everything.
No, I didn't. And that was really important. I remember when I went diamond, I got added to a diamond page. I don't want to scare anybody, but one of the first files I read was like, okay, so people think like you're running to diamond and then you get to diamond and like you arrived. And that's so not true. Like you don't want to stop doing what you just did. Like you want to take that momentum and keep going. Mm-hmm. And I remember like reading this file. I was like, okay, so you got to diamond. You know, you probably think you could like chill out and breathe and like not do anything for a couple of weeks, and like absolutely not. Like you have to keep going. You know, it was just like, it was kind of funny in the sense, and I'm like, oh my God, really? But I was just so excited that it didn't matter. And at this point, there was other people on my team now going for diamond, you know? So it was like we were running together. Mm-hmm. I feel like, listen, it's not easy to go fast. It's not, you know, and you definitely need to have at least one person or two people on your team that are willing to put in the work that you are. You know, they may not be as good at signing or whatever it is, but like it's just so important to have or to inspire people to want to do what you're doing, you know? So, and in the beginning, honestly, I pretty much filled my entire diamond chart myself. So I didn't let that be an excuse. Like, oh, I don't have any rock stars on my team. Nobody's signing. I did not look at the chart, the ruby chart or the emerald chart and say, you need to go emerald. Like, what are you doing? I need to get to diamond. Like, go emerald now. I never did that. I never even thought of it. I remember from day one, Jen told me, like, look at each box like it's your name, like it's your responsibility. Don't even think about it. If these people sign somebody, then that's great. So from day one, I was never disappointed. Like so many times on my team that happens, and people are like, you know, this person's not doing anything. I'm like, but so what? Like it's your chart, you know? And I feel like I never looked at it that way. So I have a hard time understanding when people say that. But if you be the leader or the district, whatever it is, if you be the leader that you want your team to be, I feel like it falls into place, you know? And
Yeah.
if you start running, somebody's going to run with you. Like it just, I think back to what inspired me. It was watching Jen run, like watching her add a new team member to the page, like every day. That inspired me. Like it almost was like a challenge for me. I was like, wow, she just signed somebody. Like I need to go find somebody right now to sign. Like I was in, you know, like a, not a mean competition, but yeah, like it motivated me, you know? So, and I think about that. I think about the things that got me excited, and I try to remember those things to do that, because if that got me excited, it's going to get somebody on my team excited, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that was one of the things, like when Lori was working this with me and like walking through this process, and I just started and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then so I went to conference, and like a month in was like, wait, I want to go diamond. Like if you think it's possible. And she was like, I went diamond in whatever it was, 58 days, try to beat me. And I was already like 3 weeks in and hadn't done anything. So I was like, okay, that gives me like 4 weeks or whatever, 4.5 to do this. And I was like, do you think I could? And she was like, yeah, I think you could beat me. And I was like, oh, so it became this like internal kind of race. Like I wasn't competing. I was competing against like her like record or whatever. And if I didn't make it, it didn't matter. But it was just like this like fun thing that for like a challenge. Like that's why I like sports like golf. It's like a personal challenge where you're not like beating someone else. But I was like, oh, like I could do that. And that like motivated me. And I was very similar. I filled my entire diamond myself. 0 people from my diamond are still working. So that's okay because they got me where I needed to be. And then eventually people started like seeing the vision and catching on and like, wait, I want to do this too. I want to run. I want, you know, but that, I mean, that is a really big thing. I think that people do get discouraged where they're like, you know, this person is boxing for emerald and like, they're not excited or they're not working. And then they get like, just like let down and it like deflates them a little bit. And you're like, no, I never even let that negative thought process in my head. I was just like running, focused, excited.
And the way I look at it is if you continue to just sign and add more people, like somebody's going to do something, like you're going to get someone in there to fill, even if it's a 400 box or whatever it is. Like if you just keep focusing on going forward, not stuck where you are or like trying to fill volume in this, a chart, like don't even think of it like that. Just keep going, you know, eventually somebody's going to come along. And the same thing with me, like the people that helped get me to presidential, they're pretty much non-existent. Like I'm working on a whole new team now, you know, and that's okay because that's okay. Like it's part of it. Like, you know, that's just the things that we go through in these businesses. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's I don't know. It's exciting to me to know that there's new people that are coming in that want this, that need this, you know, it's just different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's exciting.
Yeah. No, it is. It's like a fresh start. And like, I remember, I think one of the things you hit on too, when you mentioned how like once you went diamond, you weren't like, oh, let me take a 2-3 week break. You were like, oh my gosh, like I now have people on my team who are trying to go diamond. And I think that's a really big shift into not only like why they call it like the first leadership rank, because then you go from focusing on just you and your rank and your promotion to, oh my gosh, it's not just about me anymore. It's about, you know, Susie and Jill and Amy, my 3 distributors, my 4 distributors, whatever, who are on my top line who now are going for their promotions. And you kind of switch from, you know, focusing on your business to focusing on like, oh, I have a team and it is cool. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me to this day, even if I like, you know, lose a rank or, you know, my paycheck stays the same or whatever, as long as I see like new people coming in who are excited and kind of remind me of myself in the beginning. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I signed up my sister. I can help her, whatever. It's like, that's what keeps people like lifers in this business, because they see it's not just about me and my paycheck and my freedom. It's about offering that to other people too. And I think that's like a really big thing is you don't have to change anything in diamond. You still send same messages, you do the same posts, you know, work the same way, have the same parties, but then you also are helping other people do that too. And we have a lot of people on this team who are, you know, charted for Ruby and Emerald who are already doing that. So it's not even like it's, you know, technically leadership, but yeah, I mean, I've seen that a lot with, I think the new people coming in is, you know, they're taking a lot of responsibility right away and like, wait, I want to help this person get executive. I want to, you know, but that's also our team culture that Kim creates. So.
I think also like, God, I just forgot what I was going to say. Wait, what was it? It was so good. Oh, okay. I know. In the very beginning, we're gonna get cut off too, I think, in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
I think in the very beginning, oh, I know what I was gonna say. So I signed the most, like sometimes I feel like another thing that holds people back is like, I'm not making any money, or I'm only a distributor, I'm only an executive, I'm only a Ruby, whatever. I feel like the higher in rank I got, the more, I don't want to say believable because my life did change, but it was like almost like people felt further away from achieving what I was achieving. You know what I mean? Like when I was running for Ruby or Diamond, I was making a couple $100s here and there, or sold a wrap or whatever it was more attainable for people like, hey, I could do what she's doing, you know? Whereas if I said, okay, now I just made over $100,000 in bonuses and I can leave my job at this point, people like, oh, good for her, but I can't, you know, there's no way I could do that, you know? So like, and I noticed that people think of that as an excuse in the very beginning of why they can't drip or why they can't enroll distributors, but that's so not true because I enrolled the most people on my team when I was not even ranked yet, you know, or just went Diamond and people didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point. I've actually never thought about that, but yeah, it's like when you get pretty much like double, but like when you get past that to like triple the top 3, you're almost so unrelatable that people are like, yeah, good for her, but like I'm not, because I thought the same thing. Like I saw, you know, people go ambassador and I'm like, oh my God, what? Like what? How many boxes? How many people is that? Like it wasn't even, I didn't join this company thinking I want to go to the very top. Like I was like, I just want to make a nest.
Most people don't.
No. So that makes a ton of sense. Like you're like kind of in your prime, like getting to Diamond is that like bread and butter where you're like, hey, I'm going for this rank. Like I just need whatever it is, 20 different people, or, you know, you don't even talk about that, but like whatever verbiage you choose, it's like, I'm going for this rank. It's going to be awesome. You could do it too. You know, whatever. My leader did it in a month, in 3 months, in whatever. I'm going for this, whatever it is, you know, and like figure out your story,
talk about it. Exactly,
your purpose, and then like make that relatable to other people.
Yes. And don't be, the most important thing I would tell you guys is just be consistent and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like there's going to be times where you're stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it's going on a live video, which I absolutely hate, but I have to do. Like, I know I have to do that. And you know what? Every time I do a damn live video, sorry, I know I shouldn't curse on this video. Every time I do a live video, like I get some kind of feedback, like somebody messaged me something, and it's just so weird how if you just listen to what the leaders tell you, and even my leaders, like if I just do what everyone says, like it really works. And it may not happen overnight, and that's so important to know. Like, don't get discouraged. It's not going to happen overnight all the time. You know, you just have to be consistent. Be consistent. Like, I have a list of things that I do for my business daily, and like I literally will write it down and I'll check it off each day. And if you just like have your own thing daily, 4, 5, 6 things that you do for your business, which hopefully include posting and reaching out at least. You do those 2 things every single day. Like, you're bound to be super successful in this business. Like, it's just, it's inevitable, you know?
No, and I think the other thing is sometimes people kind of, it's like one or the other, where there's either the person who like comes out of the gate running and is like pants on fire, I'm going, what do I post, who do I talk to, blah, blah, blah. And like, they're just like, you just have to like keep watering them and they'll just keep going. And then there's the other people who are like, I don't know. And then are like, okay, you know, and it's like one or the other, but you kind of have to like meet people where they are, help them how you can, and then basically just show them, whether you're that like crazy person who's running and you sign someone who's like a runner from the beginning, or you sign someone who's like warming up, you just have to say, listen, all you have to do is post this many times a day, reach out to this many people. It's not that big of a deal. And I think sometimes even if someone like starts running and then gets stuck because they don't have that overnight success, they're like, oh, I'm not doing it. And it's like, no, just trust the process, the posting, the messaging, like we've said, will work. It's like tending a garden. You just have to keep, it's like maybe it's a season of planting, maybe it's a season of harvest. Just like let it be. And I think people give up super quickly, whether like I've noticed from both personalities, like people who start slow, people who start fast. If it's not immediate, they're not consistent. So that like I literally always forget that because sometimes even at this rank, I overcomplicate things. I'm like,
Yes, we
what
all
would I say?
But that's normal. And I just feel like, what does it really take for us to post and reach out each day? Like, really, what does that really take out of our lives? Even if it takes us another 5 years to make $50,000 a month, like, where else are we ever going to get that?
Right.
Or even if it takes somebody 5 years to go diamond and make over $2,000 a month, whatever it is, it's still more than like from working for myself or from posting and reaching out. I just feel like
for the effort you're putting in, the paycheck you'll get out is like, it doesn't even make sense. So no, would you say, okay, so we have like 2 minutes left. Going diamond, how did going diamond affect like your family's life with like that paycheck, with those extra bonuses, the extra cabs, everything? Did you even understand what was happening? And like, would you tell people like, because I think a lot of times people are like, they don't understand how important it is at this rank. So what would you say to that?
So at Diamond, it was crazy. I pretty much matched my teaching salary because I made over the average Diamond check.
Yeah.
Right. So that was crazy. And I was able to quit my 2 after school jobs. So I was still teaching because I was so scared. Like even at that point, I was like, I'm never going to come home from teaching. I still didn't believe that was ever going to happen. But I was like, I'm not tutoring and I'm not doing after school anymore. So that changed. And that was huge because now I was like with my family so much more, and this was like a huge extra paycheck for us that was just like play money.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get cut off? Are we gonna like get cut off completely?
Yeah, it'll get cut off. But
All right,
anyway, before that happens, I want to thank you. If I have any questions, I'll make a post on my page and then I'll send you a message and ask you. But I think you pretty much covered everything. Thank you for taking time on your like really busy day with all of us. We really appreciate it. You're absolutely
thanks for
wonderful.
having me.